Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday Talks with Abby. In this brand new series, every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Indian Standard Time, we dive into some of the most common and trickiest questions you will face in or have been asked in software and IT industry interviews. I will be picking a question each week, breaking it down, and giving you clear step-by-step explanations so you are more than ready to tackle them in the real world. I will also discuss the follow-up questions based on the main interview question. Whether you are gearing up for your first job interview, switching roles, or just want to brush up your skills, this is the place for you. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and let's get ready to ace those interview questions together. Today's question comes from the company called Merkel, and this is coming from SQL Server. The question is, what are the differences between truncate, delete, and drop statement in SQL? Let's try to understand what Merkel company is. It's a data-driven customer experience management company, majorly into marketing technology, and it helps large brands to create personalized interactions with their customers using data analytics technology strategy. It was founded in 1971, headquartered at Maryland, United States, more than 16,000 employees worldwide, and it has the reachability of 30 plus countries. Having seen nature of the work the company is, it appears that they are very particular about data. So let's try to understand what is the intention behind asking this question to the candidates. The interviewer is not checking only the syntax by asking this question. Rather, they are testing how you think about database and how you think as a database professional in terms of data safety, performance, and responsibility in real-world systems. For a couple of points that can be jotted down out of this intention is, can you recover from mistakes if you have made? Let's say you have accidentally deleted data. Do you have some information on how to recover that? Do you know which operations are safe in production? If candidate can do accidental delete of important data, he or she has the knowledge about what is being done. Also test the knowledge on transactional logs, minimal versus full log, performance impact, etc. And also, it wants to check whether candidate is aware of the fact is which one of these is faster. Let's try to understand these all in detail. I have actually categorized the things in a couple of features. So we have the first feature removes data. In data removal, if we are using delete, this removes data. If we are using truncate, this removes data, but all the data. There is no provision that, for example, I can only delete couple of records out of total. So when we are going to delete, it removes all data. Drop also deletes all the data. Second feature is remove table. Delete doesn't remove table. So as truncate doesn't remove table, but drop removes table. Talking about where clause, we can introduce where clause in delete. For example, I can say, I want to delete all the employees whose employee ID is greater than 7. So I can write delete from TBL employee, if the name of the table is TBL employee, where EMP ID is greater than 7. But the same where condition cannot be introduced with truncate. Truncate does all deletion, and so as drop. Talking about rollback, if you are using transactional way of delete, let's say you have used transaction, then delete, and then rollback. So you can actually roll back the deleted data if you have used in transactions in case of delete. If you are using truncate, there are few cases where you cannot do, but yeah, most of the cases if you are encapsulating immediate transaction start and then rollback, so you can do that. With a drop, there is no possibility. Logging. So whenever a deletion takes place, things are managed behind the scene. Things are actually audit trailed. They are logged so that at the time when it is required, we can get information out of those. If you do delete, it does logging row by row and it does full logging. But in case of truncate, it does minimal logging and so as drop. triggers. If you have written any trigger over table, and if you wish that when you delete something, the trigger should be fired, so it only can be done in case of delete. No trigger is found to be fired or triggered in case of truncate and drop. There are some field called identity. You can watch our videos on SQL Server, Mastering SQL Server series, and we have covered identity columns in detail. I may place that link in the description, or you can also see in I button, which talks about identity. So in SQL Server, if you have created any field like identity field, what happens? You are not required to enter that data. Suppose you have created EMP ID as an identity. So EMP ID is not required to be entered. You can only enter name and other details, and EMP ID will be auto incremented. That is called identity. So when you delete these, identity thing is not reset. But in truncate, it is reset, and there is no impact over drop, because drop eventually drops the table. Performance-wise, delete is slow, truncate is fast, but the drop is fastest. So with this table, I have tried to clear and explain you all the points which are related to delete, truncate, and drop on the different parameters. Let's go and see everything in action in SQL Server Management Studio. So I am in SQL Server Management Studio, and I have written these queries and scripts just to save time already. I will walk you through each and everything. The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to create a table. You see here, I'm going to create a table called TVL employees, and this has got two fields, employee ID and employee name. Employee ID obviously is an identity. If you say identity 1,1, that means it starts with 1 and it goes up to the limit of entity increasing by 1. Make sense? Let's go and create this table. Table has been created. Now let's go and insert couple of records. So I am simply writing insert statement. Let's go and insert this. Records have been inserted. You can see 7 records inserted here. Let's see the records have been inserted or not. So you see this, all records are, there are 7 records here. And employee IDs are 1 to 7. Make sense? Here what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete. So I'm going to delete, but I'm enclosing this in begin tran and rollback tran. So ideally what should happen, if I am deleting this, until I roll back, the record will be deleted. But when I roll back, then roll it back. So let's go and try to do this. So I'm selecting this whole thing. You see here is that inside the transactions, there are only 3 records shown, because I have already deleted all those which are having whose employee ID is less than 5. But outside of this rollback trans here, because this is rolled back, and then I could see all the records here, 1 to 7. So hence it is proof that once we are using delete within transactions, it can actually roll back. Let's go and try to see the case with truncate. So for writing truncate, you simply write truncate table and the table name. So let's go ahead and let's see what happens. This produces the same result. Truncate since delete all the records, so all record got deleted. So this select statement actually shows no record. But then we did what? We rolled it back. It has rolled back, and then finally when we are showing these all, it has shown all these. What happens when we try to actually do delete? We have already seen in the last PPT that it actually logs. So when I'm going to do and see here, I begin the transaction, but I didn't roll back or commit it. So this will be open. So if I'm going to do the same thing, this basically will delete each row of the table, and it will log also. Okay. And it will leave only those records in the table which are having employee ID more than 5, because all for less than 5 employee ID, this has deleted. We can anyways see the log percentage every time. So you can see this is our DB, CWA DB, which has got 95.5156%. So this is the command through which you can actually check what logs are maintained. Unfortunately, this takes much time, so I'm not executing this, but you can use it in your reference. I'm going to roll it back again. So this has been rolled back. And if you go to see the data again in this table, so you can actually see the data. Let's go and try to understand triggers. For understanding triggers, let's go to create a couple of tables. The first table that we are going to create again is employees, and we will insert a couple of records in the employee table. So again, we are going with a fresh example. So we are inserting here. Now we are going to create another table. So TVL deleted EMP data. So what happens in production? Many data get deleted. So what happens if it gets deleted? You want to keep track of that audit trail. like if somebody deleted this, when was it deleted, so that if needed, it can be retrieved back, or you actually do many things like you don't want to lose any data or keep it in archive tables. So here I have created one more table called table deleted employee data, and this contains one more field, employee ID, employee name, and date deleted, when it was deleted. That is all details. Let's create this table. This table is initially blank, and there is no data in this table. Obviously, this table has got 7 records. Now we are going to create a table, a trigger. So let's go and create a trigger here. The trigger is TG after delete TBL employees. And in this trigger, what we are trying to do is we are inserting the record into TBL deleted EMP data with EMP ID, EMP name, and date deleted. And we are filling this data from deleted table. Deleted is a table. It is called a magic table. What happens in triggers? There are a couple of tables that are automatically used. One of these is deleted. So what I'm trying to do, whatever has been deleted, I'm going to insert into TBL deleted employee data table. So this is how we write trigger. If you want more details on trigger, you can anyways refer our video series. The playlist is SQL Server, Mastering SQL Server. I can also place the link in description as well as in I button. So let's go and create this. The trigger has been created. Now let's see if employee has all records. So we see employee has all 7 records here. Make sense? What we are going to do is we are going to delete all the employees having more than employee ID is more than 6. So this has deleted 1 record. So if our trigger is working properly, the deleted employees data should be moved to TBL deleted EMP data table. So let's go and check. I am querying these 2 tables. So you see there, this table, TBL employee has lost 1 record because we have deleted it, but no worries, that particular record has been stored in our archive table, which we have created. So this way, we can actually utilize the feature of trigger. And what happens when you actually use delete command, triggers are in the picture, triggers work. But when you try to use truncate command, triggers are not used. So to prove that, let's go and do this. So we are selecting these employees, then we are truncating the table, and then we will select both the employees table and all. So let's go and do. So initially employee is having 6 records. And what happens in this command here, we truncated it, right? So we truncated it and then we try to see. Then there is no record in employee table because this has been fully truncated. And since trigger did not fire, because in case of truncate, trigger doesn't fire. So what happens? This whole data didn't come into the archive table, table deleted employee data table. And this remained in the same. Make sense? The final example is identity reset. Identity reset, in order to show the identity reset feature that works with only truncate, delete doesn't reset the identity. Let's go and create one fresh table. This fresh table has got 2 fields, EMP ID and EMP name. EMP ID has got identity 1,1. That means it starts from 1 and increases by 1 and it goes up to the end of integer limit. Let's create this table. Table has been created, and then go and insert the values to this table. Then values have been inserted. Now let's go and check the data in this table. Data is all good, all 7 records, and the last EMP ID is 7. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete EMP ID 7. So ideally, if I'm doing EMP ID 7, EMP ID 7 has been deleted. Let's go and verify. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is Nina Chandra. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert one record, and my new employee record name is new employee. But I'm not, since this is already identity, so I'm not inserting any employee ID here. So what do you think? What should it take it? Since delete command doesn't reset, so it will actually insert one employee ID, not 7, because 7 has been deleted. Ideally, it should come as 7, but instead of 7, it will come at 8, because this 7 was the part of table which has been deleted, and delete does not reset identity. So let's go and insert it. This has been inserted. And now let's go and try to see the records in the table. You see there, 6 is Nina Chandra, but the new employee has come, and whose employee ID is not 7, but 8. Why? Because 7 was there for some other employee which has been deleted, and delete does not reset the identity. Make sense? If you have done it through truncate since delete everything, then the identity is reset. This brings to the end of this session. Hope question which has been asked by the company is pretty clear to you. I keep on bringing such questions every Tuesday, so stay connected with us. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends and or colleagues who are preparing for interviews. See you in the next one. Bye bye.